Hi, it's the M.L.M for the Soul channel, and I do have a new topic for today. Before I begin, I just would like to say, may the words and expressions of my mouth and the thoughts and meditations of my heart find favor and acceptance before you, Hashem. And some people I thank have inspired me. I hope they can inspire you as well. And I will have links below this video to their sites. They are Rabbi Shalom Arush, Rabbi Lazer Brody, Rabbi Yosef Mizrahi, Rabbi Eli Mansour, Rabbi Alon Anava, Rabbi Yuval Ovadia, Rabbi Daniel Asor, Nisan Baruch Black, David Sachs, Rabbi Michael Skobach, Jews for Judaism, Rabbi David Asher, and Rabbi Ron Ruvain. As well, if you've never checked out this channel before, I will have a link below this video to my first video that explains what M.L.M for the Soul means, what it stands for, and what I'm doing. So today's topic is related to the upcoming parasha in Sefer Vayikra, that's Parashat Shemini, and this is from a portion of Kindness by Rosalie Saltzman, and I call this How Our Speech and Actions Affect Others. So Moshe said to Aaron and to his sons Elazar and Itamar, "Do not leave your heads unshorn and do not rend your garments, that you do not die." And he, meaning Hashem, became wrathful with the entire assembly. "Do not leave the entrance of the tent of the meeting lest you die." That's from Vayikra 10, 6, and 7. So the above warning seems to be a little unfeeling. Moshe tells his brother and his nephews not to do something that would endanger their lives so that Hashem does not become angry with the people. One would assume that Moshe would be more concerned for his brother's life than the danger of Hashem being angry, even if it is at the whole nation. There is no question that Moshe loved his brother and his nephews and feared for their lives. But his greater responsibility at that moment was to make sure that the inauguration of the Mishkan take place and that nothing mar the proceedings. We have to always be cognizant of how our actions affect others. Kal v'chomer, meaning, also, it's not the exact definition, but it's kind of that's kind of what it means. I forget, Kal means light, and v'chomer is maybe harsh, the two sides. If they can affect a great number of people. Part of Ahavas Yisrael, loving Israel, is sometimes sacrificing concern for ourselves and our own needs, at least momentarily, if it will benefit the greater good. While we are supposed to always put ourselves first, like my friend said in an email, to thine own self be true, we should be the first recipients of our own chesed, which is our own kindness. By the same token, we can't ignore how someone else is affected by what we do or say. If we always keep this in mind, it will act as a safeguard to chesed and prevent us from hurting others even indirectly. Because sometimes that happens and we don't realize that we're doing it. We didn't intend to do it, and that's just, the nature of how things happen. In this parasha, the laws applying to what constitutes a kosher animal are listed along with the animals they refer to. The main sign for what constitutes a kosher bird is whether it is a bird of prey. All preying birds are non-kosher because they are cruel and convey their quality to those who eat them. So you can see that in their nature. Among the animals that chew their cud and have split hooves, none are predators, and so all are kosher. Isn't that interesting when you look at them? If you observe them in nature, they don't do that. So that's very interesting. The cow, I guess what it is else. I'm trying to think of the other animals. I guess the sheep, the lamb, they don't do that. So that's a very interesting point about who they are. So that is why these animals are permissible to eat. That's according to the Ramban. Certain foods are forbidden. The reason is entirely spiritual. In fact, it could be that the physical attributes of the foreign food are as they are because the spiritual essence is impure. Isn't that interesting that it's not about the physical part of it so much as the spiritual? So the shellfish inhabits its contaminated habitat and may be physically unhealthy because it is unkosher. That's from Rabbi Akiva Tatz. So this lends support to the fact that if something exhibits characteristics that are contrary to chesed, then this renders it unkosher and not fit for consumption by people whose raison d'etre, which is their reason for being, is chesed. So, and then just another point that I thought was interesting that she wrote here, not kind of related to the topic, to distinguish between the contaminated and the pure, and between the creature that may be eaten and the creature that may not. That's from Vayikra 11:47. So why does the Torah seemingly repeat the prohibition? Pure is a creature that may be eaten, and impure is a creature that may not be eaten. We would know that, right? So the repetition indicates that what makes a creature pure is more than just its permissibility to be eaten. An animal to be eaten must be slaughtered properly, checked for imperfections, koshered and cooked according to halacha, removing the parts that are not permissible to eat. So it's not just a 1, 2, 3 kind of thing. There's a lot of steps to make it permissible. This is much more involved than just having the correct animal. One of the things that nullify an animal for consumption is if it isn't killed ritually. You can't come upon a dead animal and eat it. It just doesn't work that way, even though I personally don't eat animals. So likewise, you can't eat it while it is still alive. Again, that's one of the 7 laws of Noah, too, that they can't eat an animal, can't tear off an animal and eat it live. How you kill it is also important. So you can't shoot it, for example. Hunting animals for food, kal v'chomer for sport, is antithetical to Jewish law. So we're not permitted to do that. Great care is taken to avoid the unnecessary suffering of the animal or its loss of dignity. The appreciation that we only kill animals to nourish our bodies to serve Hashem is stressed. So that's really our purpose too, is everything that we consume is in order to serve Hashem better, not for our own purposes, really. We must make sure that the animal is worthy of that task and that we are worthy to eat it by showing respect and kindness to all Hashem's creatures, those that may be eaten and those that may be not. So similarly. So I hope and pray that, yes, we will take into account our speech and actions, how they affect others, and also how we treat all of Hashem's animals, the ones that we can eat, the ones that we can't eat, and the ones that and I don't eat them, but that's okay. And that we will all merit to live and see the coming of Mashiach speedily in our days and rebuilding of our final and everlasting Beis Hamikdash. Amen. And thanks for watching.